Hi guys, so I'm gonna try to show you a build that you can do at lower levels in PvT. Recommended, like, you can do it at 3k, I feel like. So 3k to masters, this build should be fine. This is especially good for PvT, but the concept is the same for every matchup. So just start making probes. Then we go for the usual pylon. We don't want to worry too much about walling for the Reaper, it's okay. Let's build the pylon here, close to the mineral line. Keep making probes. Make the gateway with your 15th probe. Then chrono boost your gateway, your nexus. And scout around for proxy racks. Don't bother about scouting for the Terran base, so scout for the proxy racks. Get a gas, keep making probes. Scout, you can A move and shift click so that you're gonna kill the attack the SCV if you're not paying attention. Just go back to macro. See, now it's all clicked, and if you find it, you're gonna attack it. Keep 16 probes into the minerals and ready to the gas. At 20, you wanna cut your probes, get your cyber core and get your nexus. So you go for the cyber core, you go down, get the nexus. At this point the probe didn't find anything, you can come back. If the SCV is scouting, it means no proxy because they don't proxy and scout usually. So you make the nexus at 20. Then you make the pylon in the wall here. Get your natural. Then make sure you resume production after the nexus. You take the gas. And now you get ready to build your first unit. So we go for Adept. Chrono boost. Get warp gate. Then the next 100 gas, actually no, we're gonna make a Stalker before that. After the Adept, chrono boost the Stalker. You want the first 2 units to be out as soon as possible to defend the Reaper. And if the Reaper comes, just shade on it. Attack, shade instantly and follow him with the shade. Now we have 100 gas, so we go for the Robo. Keep making probes, never stop making probes. Now the Stalker is ready, we kinda position them in a way to get the Reapers. Now we don't want more units, it's fine. Chrono boost the gateway, the nexus. At your natural base when it's ready. Then we wanna go for a Twilight Council. Now we're also gonna go for one very blind battery. Here, which is kind of close to the mineral line as well, so you can also defend drops. The battery is just there for safety. We chrono boost the observer out, we want to see what's going on. Then we want to make 2 extra gateways in the wall, in case of aliens. Keep making probes, guys, never stop making probes. We need to make a pylon. Make another observer, start charge. Get that charge. Send the observer to the Terran base, but don't fly it to the mineral lines because it could have turrets. So just try to see what it's doing and then hide it. Make another pylon. We go 3 observers. The second observer should be going to the edges of the map to scout for the drops, so kinda like here in observer mode. Then we want to take a 3rd base at this point. The gates are ready. We can expand. Don't worry about the gas in your natural right now. We get an expansion. You can warp in now. Warp in 3 Stalkers. Keep the Stalkers in the mineral line in case he comes with a drop. The 3rd observer you can send him like in the pathway so you can see more. Or you can send him also to the other edge of the base if you want. Now you kind of see what the Terran is doing. If it's going Cyclone, Alien, just go for Colossus right away. Otherwise, it's fine to stay Zealot Archon. So we need to make a pylon here at the third base. Leave the observer in observer mode, kind of hidden from him. And now we add gateways. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, now we have 10 gateways, which are gonna be amazing for defense while you have your third base, also for attacking. We still don't care about our gas. Now make 2 sentries and a zealot. The sentries are there for guardian shield. So now your army is small, but you don't care because you have 10 gateways on the way. Your gateways are gonna be there to get your army very quickly. So you want to chrono boost your probes until you have like saturation in your third base. Now you want to make 2 pylons at a time because otherwise you're gonna get easily supply blocked with 10 gateways. You need to make sure you understand if the Terran is going out or not. Now you start making your army. At this point you can also send 1 probe out and make pylons in the pathways of the Terran. So in case you miss his move out, you can always see where he is. At this point, we start going for the Templars. We start getting gases. We keep making units whenever we can. Make sure you make 2 pylons at a time. There we go. Transfer the probes. Make sure you transfer those probes. Don't let them sit idle in your base. And fix your gases, warping units. At this point we can also go for double forge. Make 2 pylons. Don't worry about Don't worry about storm. You want to focus on getting those units, those big boys out, which is the Archons. Obviously, if you scout that it's going heavy tanks, you can start your Immortal production a bit earlier. But now we're just gonna start making Immortal Archons all the way. And you just start getting a very strong army. Make sure that you use your sentries for Guardian Shield. And try to focus your chrono boost on the forges. You also want to make 1 cannon in each mineral line in case of drops or whatever could come your way. Now you start having a very nice army. All your gas should be into Archons and upgrades and Immortals. So at this point you can also take a 4th base. Start trying to test the waters a little bit. It could be if he is very aggressive, you just defend. But if he's passive, you can try to attack him. You can go while you're taking your 4th base. Obviously, like, this composition is very good, but if the game is going on for longer, like if you see you can't quite kill him, you can go for Robo Bay and 2nd Robo for Colossus. Can I have space, please? Okay. So now you want to try to attack his 3rd base, because Terran at this point might have a 3rd base. So you go and try to attack the 3rd base. At the same time, you send some zealots to his natural. So what you want to do is you press Alt and 2, so that the zealots are gonna go away from your control group. So if you have your army control group on 1, you press Alt 2 on a group of zealots, and they're gonna get away from that group and be put in the 2nd group. So you don't have to worry about them like running around when you move this army. So while you're attacking this 3rd base, you send these zealots to the natural. So you always want to try to attack, to send some zealots when you play Protoss. Try to always send some zealots inside the mineral lines, if you know the base is exposed. So those zealots could do a lot of damage while you're just attacking the 3rd base. And you don't even need to commit to the fight if you know you can't quite win. And his zealots are gonna do a lot of damage if he's not prepared. Obviously, you need to start Blink a bit sooner than this, because emergency Stalker war pins are still a thing for Liberators and stuff. So you want to make sure that they have blink. So the fourth base, once it's ready, you make a round of probes to kind of saturate it, and then you transfer your probes. And then you want to keep going for the upgrades, and this is basically it. Like you at your level, you should just be able to win the game staying Immortal, Archon and Zealous. But if the game goes longer, as I said, try to go for Colossus. And if you scout Cyclone Alien compositions, you also want to go for Colossus Blink. It's a harder composition to use, but that's the counter to that. But versus Bio and tanks and whatever, just go for this composition. And you should be completely fine. So hopefully guys, you can do this build and climb to Masters. If you have troubles with your build and you want to show me the replays, you can always come into my Discord and share your replays, which I have the link in the description below. Also come into my stream where I always review replays. So you can always send your replays and I can tell you why you lost the game, what you did wrong in the build and whatever. Because the build doesn't require much multitasking and not much micro. So it should be like people at lower levels should be able to do it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. So now we're gonna try this build in a normal game versus a player. So stuff could be delayed if you get rushed or whatever. We'll see what happens. Right. Start with the usual pylon. The volume could be higher. Chrono boost your Nexus, make the gateway. Scout for proxy barracks. Keep making probes, never stop making probes, get the gas. So now we cut props at 20, we go for the Cybercore and the expansion. Looks like no proxy, the probe can come back. Now we just make the pylon. Resume probe production and get the second gas. Chrono boost the adept, get warp gate. Chrono boost the Stalker next. Shade on the Reaper. Okay, it's running away. Next 100 gas we go for the Robo. Let's make the Robo. Now we just defend the Reaper. There it is. Don't lose your macro while doing this. Try to make probes. Okay, the Reaper is dead, so if the Reaper is dead, you can send the Adept and the Stalker together. Now you want to make a Twilight Council. Chrono boost the probes in your natural. Keep shading your Adepts. Don't lose your macro while doing this. It's very easy to get distracted now. when you go into his base. Try to always keep making probes. Press your Nexus keybind and make probes. Okay, now we try to go into his base. He has a bunker. And try to bypass it maybe. Okay, too many marines. It's okay, we just go back. We need to make the observer and the 2 gateway. Chrono boost the observer, make a pylon. Get charge. Oh, we forgot to make the batteries, but we'll just make it here. Make another observer. We saw Widow Mine, so this could very well be a Widow Mine drop. So at this point we wanna warp in a Stalker, try to get at the 3rd base. Keep chrono boosting the probes. Always keep your units in the mineral lines. Make another observer. Go up to 3 observers. I feel like my gates were a bit late. So we just take this base, we go for a pylon. Sadly we got a slight supply block, so we need to wait. Because we want to warp in the Stalkers. Yeah, we warp in 3 Stalkers now. Put them in the other mineral line, it's fine. Now we just want to focus on making units. Oh, making the gateway, sorry. So we see that the Terran is actually going for the 3rd base. Alright. Observers in observer mode. And now we add the gateways. Oh, we lost one. When you lose the observer there, you kinda need to remake it. Just move one of your observers. You need the division instantly. So you move the one on the edges and remake it. So we need to make go up to 10 gateways. So far we have 9, just one more. Okay, there we go. Now we got 10 gateways. Chrono boost your probes. Transfer your probes. Make 2 sentries for the Guardian Shield. Oh! We don't mind drop, but the units were in position. Even if I didn't see it, I was fine. Alright, make a battery at your 3rd base. Now just keep warping in Zealots. Now we need to keep warping in Zealots. You can leave the Stalkers at the edges if you're scared of more drops. Now you just need Stalkers, Sentries, Zealot, and Archons eventually. Keep making pylons. Oh, that's a big Artosis pylon that I have there. Now we still see that the Terran is home, so we're not too scared right now. We're just focusing on our production. Now we keep making Zealots. At this point we need to make Templars and go for the gases. Don't get supply block, transfer your probes always. Make 2 pylons at a time. So now we see that he's expanding there, he's moving his SCVs. He could become aggressive very soon. We need to make the pylons around the map right now. Okay, the Stalkers are protecting me versus that, which is very nice. Make the pylons around the map to scout for his movements. Get the gases. Make some Archons. At this point we're gonna go for the double forge. You can stop making the probes once you have full saturation. You wanna spend all your money on defense, on units. Now we kinda lost him. So always make sure you find out where he is. Okay, he's dropping, which is fine. Just warp in. Move your probes to a gas. You wanna move your probe to a gas so that you don't lose them all the way. And I just stack here very nicely. Make sure you chrono boost your upgrades for the whole game. We lost a couple of probes, it's okay. Start making immortals. Okay, see, now we know where his army is, which is right there. Oh, that's being very annoying. Make a cannon in each mineral line. Still see his army here, which is very nice. Just make Archons, make Archons. We wanna go and start taking our fourth base. It's getting kinda late. We can start being aggressive right now. So Chrono boost the upgrades, Chrono. Okay, he's still there. So we'll try to counter his, to kill his push here. See, your army is very strong, so you have a lot of stuff. Your cannons are able to defend the mine drops. Don't be scared if you lose some probes, just Chrono boost the probes back. Don't be scared to also Chrono boost some stalkers if you want to defend the drops. Use your battery overcharge. Try to split your army a little bit versus drops, you know? Because he might attack you from both sides, from two sides. We just retake the third base, the fourth base. We see it's going home with the pylons. At this point we just go again. Try, we have +1/+1. We make some Archons. Oh, slight supply block. Keep your upgrades going. Okay. So now you want to do the counter attack, you know? Press Alt and another control group. Send those zealots in inside the natural. And attack the third base at the same time. Don't be scared to remake observers if you get the mine. He's ready to defend this, so not big of a deal. Alright. Let's keep making more zealots, more units. At this point you want to transition into Colossus. Alright, we just go back. We need an observer for Widow Mines, we're kinda overextending a bit. Get Blink. Make more Archons. Remake your army a little bit. So we see he has a Raven, which he could be using to kill our observer. So you need to be careful. So he's attacking again. You can make some stalkers now, it's okay. Blink is on the way. Just make sure you have those observers. Because Widow Mines can get very scary. And now you go Colossus, double Colossus production. Get Thermal Lens. Ooh. Always use your Guardian Shield when you fight. Make sure to always use your Guardian Shield. You don't need to chase the Terran too much. Just force him to steam again. You know? You can try to focus the Medivacs when you win the fight. See, my blink is a bit late because now I should have blinked and killed the Medivacs. Now just make sure if you win a fight versus Terran, you can try to be aggressive. Keep chrono boosting your upgrades. And now we have 2 Colossus. Oh, the Liberators are not that big of a deal. You can just warp in some Stalkers. It's okay. Oh, I have a bunch of Stalkers here that I forgot. Okay. So yeah, you can make Stalkers once you start having some Colossus. And now we just try to attack again. Your pylons can also be used, obviously, to warp in stuff to run by. He's obviously gonna have a 4th base, so we'll try to run by that. And we'll go again. Chrono boost your upgrades again. Use your Guardian Shield. Try to kill the Liberators. Don't overextend too much if you don't need to. Okay, that's a planetary. Oh, we lost the observers. No, we didn't. Never mind. Don't have any more Guardian Shields. But the army is pretty big right now, so we should win now. Yeah. So this is how you want to try to make this build. Just transition into Colossus when you get your 4th base if you didn't win the game by then. But it's very easy to defend with 10 gateways and charge lots. You have very easy defense with all those war pins and stuff. So it's gonna be fine if you do it right.